Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I tell you folks, Willow Tate has really gone and backed herself into the tightest corner I've seen in a long time over at General Hospital. It's not just one or two people caught up in this mess anymore. The number of folks she's holding on to, whether they know it or not, just keeps climbing. Every time I sit down to watch, I find myself leaning forward, wondering how in the world she's going to keep all these plates spinning without everything crashing down around her. She's in so deep now that even the smallest slip could bring the whole thing tumbling down, and that thought has been sitting heavy on my mind these past few days. What really tugs at my heart is the way she's been handling Drew Kane. She shot her own husband from behind, and yet I truly believe she never wanted him dead. That part keeps coming back to me. Willow could have made sure he was gone for good if she'd had that kind of hardness in her, but she pulled back. Instead, she's been keeping him in this terrible in-between state, slipping something into his drinks to hold him under. It's like she's trying to freeze time to keep the truth from catching up with her just a little while longer. But we all know you can't hold off forever what's meant to happen. When Drew finally opens his eyes and remembers what she did, I can't imagine the storm that's going to hit her. She's not a monster in my book. She's a woman who got scared and made one desperate choice after another, thinking she could protect the life she wanted. Still, the longer she keeps him like this, the worse it's going to be when the day of reckoning comes, and now Brennan's been pulled into it too. Last week, when he got injected with whatever was meant for Drew, my stomach just dropped. It felt like one bad decision had started pulling in everyone around her, whether they deserved it or not. Willow must be lying awake at night, wondering how she's going to keep drugging both of them without somebody noticing the pattern. How long can a person really keep something like that hidden before the nurses or the doctors start asking the right questions? I keep picturing her walking those hospital halls, smiling at folks, acting like everything's normal, while inside she's probably terrified. It reminds me of watching someone try to outrun a storm that's already right on their heels. The more she tries to fix things by adding one more lie or one more dose, the tighter the knot gets around her. What worries me most is what happens when the truth finally comes out in the wash. Will she end up sitting in a jail cell? Or is there something even worse waiting for her? The way things are building, it feels like the walls are closing in from every side. She's got Drew in a coma, Brennan drugged, and who knows how many other people starting to suspect that something isn't right at that hospital. I've been following Willow's story for years now, and it breaks my heart a little to see her like this. She started out wanting love and a family, and somehow it all turned into this tangled web she can't seem to escape. Every choice she makes to protect herself just seems to pull more people into the danger. I keep wondering if there's any way out for her that doesn't end in heartbreak for everyone involved, or if she's already gone too far down this road to turn back. It's the kind of story that stays with you after the episode ends. I find myself thinking about her during the day, wondering what she's going to do next, and whether she's got any real chance left to make things right before it's too late. The suspense is something else, I tell you. One minute I'm frustrated with the choices she's made, and the next I'm feeling sorry for her because I can see how scared and alone she must feel. That's the power of a story like this. It makes you care about people even when they're doing things you know are wrong. I just hope that when everything finally comes to light, there's still some small path left for her to find her way back to the person she used to be. The situation for Willow Tate is growing heavier with every passing day, and I can feel the weight of it even from my living room chair. She's already got Drew lying there in that coma, and Brennan pulled into the same risky situation with the drugs, and now it seems like more and more people are getting caught up in the web she's woven without even realizing it. I keep thinking about how exhausting it must be for her to go through each day pretending everything is normal while she's carrying this enormous secret. The lies are stacking up, and the longer she tries to manage them all, the more fragile everything becomes. It's like watching someone try to hold back a flood with nothing but their bare hands. Sooner or later, the pressure is going to break through somewhere. And when it does, Willow is going to have to face consequences that I don't think she's fully prepared for. That thought has been sitting with me ever since I heard the latest updates. What really got me thinking was what Katelyn MacMullen shared in that interview about how her character is seeing things right now. From what she described, Willow honestly believes that if she just keeps putting one foot in front of the other, she can stabilize everything and make it all work out. She's telling herself that nobody needs to know what happened, that she can fix the problems quietly, and that life can somehow go back to the way it was supposed to be. There's a part of her that's scared, Katelyn said, but Willow doesn't let herself sit with that fear for very long. Instead, she pushes it aside and focuses on moving forward, convinced that everything will turn out fine in the end. I understand that kind of thinking more than I'd like to admit. When you're in a tight spot, it's tempting to tell yourself that if you just stay busy and keep control, the bad things won't catch up. But listening to Katelyn talk about it, I could tell she sees this as coming from a place of deep illusion. Willow isn't facing the full picture of what she's done or how much danger she's really in. She's living in a kind of hopeful fog, and that fog might be the very thing that makes everything worse when the truth finally comes knocking. I've been turning this over in my mind quite a bit these last couple of days. Is Willow truly fooling herself about how serious her situation has become? She shot Drew from behind, but couldn't bring herself to finish what she started, and now she's keeping him in that coma as some kind of temporary fix while she figures out what to do next. At the same time, she's drugging Brennan too, and every new choice seems to drag more people into the mess. The way Katelyn described it, Willow is clinging to the idea that she can make everything right without anyone finding out. But the more I think about it, the clearer it becomes that this kind of denial only works for so long. Will she have to pay a heavy price for what she's done to Drew and Brennan? That question keeps coming back to me, and I don't have an easy answer. Willow may believe she can keep everything quiet, move on with her life, but the reality seems to be closing in from too many directions at once. The longer she stays in this state of illusion, refusing to fully face the fear underneath, the more complicated and dangerous the fallout is likely to be. I can imagine the moment when Drew wakes up and starts remembering, or when someone finally connects the dots about Brennan's condition. Those moments are coming, whether she's ready or not. And when they arrive, I have a feeling the consequences won't just be about jail time or legal trouble. They could touch the relationships and the future she's been fighting so hard to hold on to. Watching a character I've followed for years walk this close to losing everything makes me feel a deep kind of sadness mixed with worry. She's not a villain in my eyes. She's a woman who got scared and started making choices she never thought she'd have to make. But choices have a way of leading us places we didn't plan to go, and I'm afraid Willow is learning that lesson the hard way. In the end, what stays with me most is how real and human this struggle feels, even in the middle of all the drama. We've all had moments where we tell ourselves that if we just keep going and don't look too closely at the mess we've created, everything might still turn out okay. Willow's story is hitting that nerve for a lot of us right now. I keep hoping that somewhere along the way, she'll find the courage to face what she's done instead of trying to outrun it. Whether the road ahead leads to jail, to losing the people she cares about, or to some other kind of reckoning, I hope there's still room for her to find a measure of peace and maybe even a chance to make amends. These characters become like family to those of us who watch week after week, and it's hard not to feel protective of them even when they're making mistakes. I'll be sitting here with my coffee, watching closely to see how it all unfolds, and I know I'm not alone in wishing that Willow can find her way through this storm with at least a little bit of grace left on the other side.